Okay, I'm going to take just a minute to talk about carryover cooking and what it is. So I have this beef roast, that I just pulled out of the oven, and this is the internal temperature. Oh, whoops. This is the internal temperature right now. I reset this just to make this silly thing quit beeping because, see, it's obnoxious. So I'm just turning this up so it'll quit beeping. But when you take a roast or a poultry or a chicken or whatever it is out of the oven, even though it's no longer in the heat, it's resting, right? This number will continue, see, there we go. This number will continue to go up for a little while. This is why you actually want to pull whatever it is you're roasting out of the oven right before it hits the temperature that you ultimately want to hit, okay? So we wanted a medium rare on this roast, and if I pull it out at 135, it's going to continue to rise anywhere between 5 and 10 degrees. And we already know that. We know that's going to happen. So we pull it out before it hits the ultimate temperature we want, okay? So I'm letting this roast just sit here. I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to cut it. And partly it's because of the carryover cooking, but also because when meat rests, the juices that all came to the surface of the roast while it was cooking will begin to settle and redistribute back through the interior, okay? So that's carryover cooking. That's why resting is important, and I'll show y'all what this looks like here in a minute when it tops off. Okay guys, I'm just showing real quick. We're still going up, and I've continued to bump this number up so it will shut up and quit beeping at me. But we're now 5 degrees over where we were when it came out of the oven. Not sure if we're going to get any more or not, but if we do, I'll show you that. Okie dokie. We actually hit 143 for a second, and then it has dropped back to 142, and it hasn't climbed anymore in several minutes, so I'd say we've topped out. But it shows we had a total of 8 degrees over our initial 135 target. So we know that we have hit that beautiful range. Well, look at that. Just as I'm telling you, hey, here's what's going to happen. Surprise. Anyway, when you're dealing with carryover cooking, hush. When you're dealing with carryover cooking, allow your meats to rest, because that will really help ensure that you're going to hit the right temperature by pulling it out at your initial target temperature. And then let it rest and let those juices redistribute. You've spent a lot of money on this. Make sure it's going to taste as good as you can get it to taste, okay? So carryover cooking, when the heat of the oven carries over after you pull it out and your cooking continues, let it top off, like I almost didn't do. Let it top off, and when that temperature on what the thermometer is showing, what the internal temperature actually is, when that temperature starts to go back down, you know that the carryover cooking has stopped, and you're probably close to having it pretty well rested, right? So there you go, carryover cooking.